Okay, so I have come with another video. This is the continuation of the last video, and we are going to do the next 10 questions in this video. Okay, we'll not be able to finish in this video. I think I'll require one more video to completely finish this problem set. All right, so without any further ado, let's get started. So we had completed up to question number 10. Let's do question number 11. In an hour, Sue can produce 60 caps, 6 jackets. Tisha can produce 50 caps or 16 jackets. And this is the 2% economy. But the price of the cap is $10 and the price of jacket is $21. Together they will produce how many caps and jackets? So in this case, in this question, we need to find the revenue from cap as well as jacket, and then we can decide who should produce what. Okay, so let's go to Notepad first. So for Sue, revenue from caps is simply 60 times 10, right, which is 600. And from jackets, this is 6 times 21, which is 126. Okay, so you can clearly see that the revenue from the caps is higher than the jackets, so she should be producing caps. Okay, similarly for Tasha, revenue from caps is 50 times 10, which is 500, and then revenue from jackets is 16 times 21, right? So this is 336. So again, you can see that for Tasha as well, she should be producing caps because the revenue is higher from caps. Okay, so in total they will produce how many caps? 60 plus 50. Okay, so this is 60 plus 50, which is 110. Okay, so that's the answer. Let's move on to the next question. In a day, Jane can catch 19 units of codfish and 6 units of crab. Tarzan can catch 20 units of codfish and X units of crab. And Jane has the comparative advantage in catching crab. Okay, so this is the main point of this question. And Tarzan has the comparative advantage in catching codfish. If so, to have the comparative advantage, the opportunity cost should be lower in that, right? So again, let's go to the Notepad. So Jane has the comparative advantage in catching crabs, so the opportunity cost, that is 19 divided by 6, this should be lower than 20 divided by x, right? Okay, and when you solve this, you'll get x is less than, okay, approximately 6.32. all right, so this is the answer. Let's move on to the next question. Tony can produce 97 pairs of sandals, or 97 units of dress. Nick can produce 66 pairs of sandals or X units of dress. They decide their time allocation together. Suppose their joint preference dictates that the sandal consumption to dress consumption ratio must be 1:1. Then they will optimally produce. So now we are given the consumption ratio. So sandal divided by dress, this ratio is 1:1, right? So let's say 1 divided by 1. So now Nick produced 66 pairs of sandals. So let's say Nick produced 66 pairs of sandals and let's say Tony helps him to produce X units of sandals. So X units of sandals. Now for dress, if Tony only produces dress, then he can produce 97 units of dress, right? But since he is also producing X units of sandals, so we need to subtract the equivalent amount of dress from 97. Okay, so since the opportunity cost, as you can see, 97 pairs of sandals and 97 pairs of 97 units of dress, so the opportunity cost is just 1. So in this case, we simply need to subtract X from 97. So this is X from 97, and this is simply 1:1. Now you can put this term to the other side, and you can calculate the value of X. Okay, all right. So I'm not gonna do this question. You can, I think, I hope you can solve this. And to get the answer, you simply add the value of X to the 66. And then for another answer, you simply subtract the value of X from 97. Okay, so these two will be your answer. Let's move on to the next question. The following graph shows Neverland's production possibilities, and we are given a graph. So these three are the points. You can see the A coordinate is 122, Y coordinate, and B is 2080, C is 39.0. And again, we are given a price, so we need to calculate the revenue. Price for tea and price for banana. And if they consume 19.5 kg of tea, how much they could consume of banana. Okay, so we need to calculate the revenue at these 3 points, and then we can evaluate where the revenue is higher, and accordingly they can produce banana after subtracting the amount for tea. Okay, so let's do it. So at point A, okay, so at point A, that is 0, 122, what is the revenue? So this is simply 122 times 10, right? Please note, banana is on the y-axis and tea is on the x-axis. So this is 1220, and at point B, which is 20, 80, 20, 80, revenue is 20 times 11 plus 80 times 10, right? So this is 1020, and at point C, this is 39, 0. So the revenue is 39 times 11, which is 429. So now you can see that the revenue at point A, okay, because this is 1220, this is higher than the other 2 points, revenue at the other 2 points. Okay, so so we have the revenue 1220, right? And if they were to consume 19.5 kg, so what is the price for 19.5 kg of tea? We need to subtract that amount from this revenue. Okay, so 19.5 times what is the amount? 11, price 11, right? So this gives us 1005.5. Okay, so this is the remaining amount. Okay, after the price, after the price for the tea. Now this is the amount that they are left with. So how many bananas, how many kgs of bananas they could consume from this amount? Okay, so we simply need to divide the price for banana. All right, so that is 10. So this is 100.55 kg of banana. So this is the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. We are given a demand relation Okay, and you can see there is the income as well in the relation, and we are asked the whether x and y are substitute or complement, and also comment also we should comment on the x, whether this is inferior or the normal good. Now you can see that the slope of y is negative and also the slope of x is negative. Okay, so x and y should be complement and x should be inferior good. Okay, so the answer is D. Now let's move on to the next question. We are given the demand relation again, and there are two demand curves, and if the price of the beer is 18 Utopian dollar, what is the total quantity demanded? So in this case we need to draw the aggregate demand curve, I mean market demand curve in total, because we are given the two demand curves and we are asked to calculate the total quantity demanded when there is the price of 18. So let's draw the market demand curve. Let me use GeoGebra. So normally we put price on the y-axis and quantity on the x-axis, right? So we'll use that convention. Y equals to 8 minus 0.04 x, and y equals to 34 minus 0.02 x. Now in the previous videos I have already explained how you draw a market demand curve. Okay, let me change the ratio. Okay, now let's find out this point, the intercepts. All right, now we need to add the x-intercepts. So x coordinate of B plus x coordinate of D, comma 0, and then y equals to y coordinate of A. So this is the intersection point, and also let's connect FE by a line segment. Let me change the ratio a little bit more. Okay, I think it looks nicer now. Okay, so CFE is our market demand curve. Now we are given the price y equals to 18. So let's find out what is this intersection. And we can know the quantity. So whenever the price is 18, the quantity is 800. Okay, so this is the first answer. And then second question is the follow-up question. If the total quantity demanded from the Utopia as a whole is 1790 units, the willingness to pay for the marginal Utopian consumer. So in this case, we are given the total quantity and we need to find out the price. So total quantity, that is x, is equals to 1790. So what is the price? So you can see the price is 1.47. Okay, so this is the answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the market for electric cars in China after the occurrence of the following events. So there are two events. A recent technological innovation reduces the production cost of batteries, and the price of gasoline decreases and is expected to remain low for a long time. So for sure we can say that the equilibrium price will decrease, right? Because there is the recent technological innovation, due to which the cost of the batteries decreases. Okay, and that's why the prices of the cars, electric cars, will decrease, right? So the first answer is decrease. Okay. And then equilibrium quantity, this is undetermined. Why? Because from the first event, the recent technological innovation, which means the quantities will increase, right, from the first event. But from the second event, it says is expected to remain low for a long time. So people may consume less today. Okay, so they will buy less of the cars today. So in that case, equilibrium quantity will be undetermined. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Suppose that you go to a local supermarket and there are changes in the price and availabilities of fresh milk. More shelf space indicates goods that are expected to have higher quantities sold. Okay. And demand and supply curves are the downward sloping. So more shelf space means there are higher quantities sold. So as you can see, in the last week there were 2 rows on shelf, and this week there are 4 rows. So if there is a single cause for the shift, there must be increase in the supply, right? So it is most likely to be increase in the supply because the shelf space, rows on the shelf space has increased. Okay, so must be increase in the supply. So option B is the correct answer. Let's do up to question number 21 and then we will stop. Okay. So consider the market for fish. The price of diesel fuel rises. So this is similar to question number 19. Okay. So we are asked we are asked to find whether the equilibrium price will decrease or increase or undetermined. So in this case, the equilibrium price will increase. Okay. Because the price of the diesel fuel rises. All right. And the equilibrium quantity will be undetermined. Okay. Again, you can think about it. All right. So the logic is pretty much same as question number 19. Okay. So let's stop here and we'll finish the remaining question in the last video. I mean, in the coming videos. Okay. So that will be the last video for this problem set. We still have plenty of questions. I hope we will be able to finish in the last video. Okay, so let's stop here. Thank you so much for watching this video.